Hello, welcome to an episode of Airgun Reviews and Pesting Channel. In today's episode, I have an exclusive from JB 3D Printing. It is their extended cocking lever, which moves the rear cocking lever up to the front. Yes, somebody finally came up with a conversion kit. Yay! Thanks to Jake Bowman with 3D Printing sent me this kit. But before we get into it, I want to give a special shout out to him for sending me this kit to put on my p15. This is my test platform I'm going to be using, the 22 caliber. And if I like it, then I'm obviously gonna get some more from Jay, because I have two others in 177 and 25 caliber. Also want to give a shout out to my supporter and sponsor of my channel, High Pressure Pneumatics out of Harrison, Michigan. Tom is the owner. Tom's Simon is the owner, and I want to give him a shout out for supporting my channel. Now, just a brief history about the P15 for those of you that know about the P15 and for those of you that don't know about the P15. When they first came out, I want to say it was 3 years ago, I purchased one from Emerald Air at the time, and it was chambered in 25 caliber. And Aaron Cantrell was over at my house one day, and he saw my P15, he picked it up, he says, "Oh man, this is a really nice rifle. It's light, compact," you know, and he was pretty much impressed with the P15. So, you know, I allowed him to review it on his channel, P15 and 25 caliber. So, yeah, today he's been pushing the P15 partly because, you know, he got a hold of mine and was generous enough to allow him to review it on his channel. The P15 is a very lightweight, compact bullpup, and you get them in all three calibers, from 177 all the way up to 25 caliber. And everybody started getting them, and Diana, they have their version of the P15, which is called the Diana Skyhawk. But the Artemis P15, which you see right here, is a brand name. But Artemis P15, this is their logo by chance. You see on the yellow box. Their parent company is Snow Peak. They're from China. Gun is manufactured in China. And all of your low end, with the exception of the Turkish air guns, you know what I'm talking about, Hatsan, Corral, and their like. A lot of the low end price guns, in my opinion, are from these two countries. Now, with the exception of Hatsan, you can get Hatsan parts with Hatsan USA. The rest of the names that I mentioned, if they're made in China, there is really no parts availability to speak of, which is sad, because a lot of times with these guns, the problem is O-ring problems that creates leaks. Now, there are some QE or QC issues with the P15. Some of their Allen screws are easily stripped. They're not very good quality to speak of. And I had an issue with the 25 caliber. I was taking the barrel off and ended up stripping the screws that go on the upper rail. And I had to end up using a Dremel tool with a cutoff wheel to make a slot to be able to unscrew it. Well, it created some cut marks into the Picatinny rail itself, so I had to end up, you know, it was kind of unsightly for me to look at, so I ended up was able to get get a hold of Snow Peak, and I was fortunate enough to get a hold of a person there at Snow Peak while getting parts. The downside is if you order parts, it's a $40 shipping charge. I don't care if it's a one tiny screw or let's say a stock, it's still $40 irregardless. And that's through FedEx. So I went ahead and got a new upper rail and some other bits and pieces that I thought might be necessary to have just for future, just in the future in case something was to happen to the P15, I at least have some parts. So I got that part covered. But for those of you out there that don't have any parts, well, you're kind of SOL. I hate to put it that way, but that's just the way it is. And that's why you pay the big money, $1,000 plus for any air rifle, whether it's bullpup or carbine. You pay over $1,000, and a lot of those companies have factory backing. So I understand, everybody doesn't have that kind of money out there to be dropping on an air gun, but let's face it, we all went over to the dark side at some point. We all had springers, and maybe majority of us did. I'm still shooting springers. I still love shooting springers right along with my PCPs, but that's me. But for those that are converted over to the dark side, unless you buy a Crossman, that's the better route to go, by the way, is a Crossman, because of parts availability in their PCPs. And they will have parts for your gun that you're working on. But unfortunately, the guns that are made in China that are $300 all the way up to like $700, I want to say, it's going to be a problem, unfortunately, getting parts. So, enough of that. Where I stand at with the P15, it's an excellent platform. If you go that route, the only place you can buy a P15 is Kral. Kral has them in limited numbers. How long they're going to have it, I don't know. Could it be discontinued like a lot of Snow Peak air guns? Yeah, it could be. P12 is another example of the discontinued. So I won't be a bit surprised that these guns here will be discontinued. It's unfortunate too, because it's such a great platform. Now, there are a lot of aftermarket accessories available for the P15. You got the aftermarket shroud that you can get for them, plenums, power plenums, regulators, all of Jake Bowman's, 3D parts, along with car magazines. They make magazines, extended magazines, so there are a lot of aftermarket companies out there building parts for these guns, but the factory, who knows when and if they'll discontinue the gun. And my bet is they're going to be discontinuing the gun, because right now, if you try to order a Diana Skyhawk, you can't get one for whatever reason. I mean, if you go to Pyramid Air, it's not even listed. So based on that information, in my opinion, unless somebody can correct me on this, you can't get a P15 or not P15, a Diana Skyhawk. So that tells you right there, that it only lasted for so long, and now they're discontinuing it. At least Diana is. I don't know about the Artemis branded P15 like we have right here. I don't know about them, Time will tell. He provided a manual to do this project. All the parts that are necessary to do this project. Conversion project. Now, the disclaimer, if you do decide to purchase this extended cocking lever, know this: if you're not mechanically apt in taking apart, or you're afraid to take apart an air gun, don't do it. Because even though I'm showing you what I'm doing to mine, I'm the type of guy that likes to tinker. So it doesn't bother me to tear apart a gun and put it back together. So this video is an instructional video on, we're gonna both learn together how to convert this to an extended cocking lever. So there's gonna be a lot of pauses, a lot of, turn the video off, restarting it back up again, because, this is a slow process that's involved here. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. I'm gonna take it apart, start with the stock, and get all the necessary Allen wrenches, which is also listed inside the manual, what tools you need, which I have. Here are the parts that consist of the Ford extending cocking lever, along with some screws I have in the background, but that's what the kit consists of. As you can see, the stock is removed. Now, in the instructions, we're gonna move this out of the way for now since I don't need it. In instructions, they want me to remove the linkage for the trigger. We're going to do that right now. Okay. Put that to the side. We've got a bunch of screws right here that we're going to be using during the installation process. So that's been disconnected. Next, they want me to flathead screwdriver and remove the hammer spring and the adjuster from the block. Ta-da! That's out. Magazine there, put that aside. This Picatinny rail, aftermarket Picatinny rail I bought from JB3D. We're not gonna no longer be using this rail system. Instead, what's included in the kit is this right here. It fits onto this rail system here, onto the barrel. So this rail here will not be used at all. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that for the time being. While I'm removing these screws, after I remove all this, next step would be to remove the trigger assembly, which is right here. If anybody's interested in these parts right here, just get a hold of me. I'll make you one heck of a deal, because I will no longer be using the rail system on the original P15. Like I said, because of the different block design I'm going to be using. So I might as well go ahead and remove the silencer. moderator. Okay. Trigger assembly. Okay, trigger assembly's there. This little cover plate here has to be removed. So we'll go ahead and remove that right now. So we have to be able to get to the cocking arm. That's why it boils right down to the cocking arm right here. Will be used in the front extension of the cocking lever. So this part came off. It's like a trigger cover plate, so to speak. There we go. Put these two together for the time being, like so. Everything is separated. Okay, this goes here as well. Now, the hammer has to come out, so I've got to help come out here. Come on, baby. So we'll just take this Allen head out. There must be another one hidden inside here. Okay. I'm gonna take a little short break here because I have to try to get the hammer out, and I'll be right back. Okay, the original cocking pin that went onto the cocking lever is now back in place. According to the instructions, this is what it should look like, and the top piece should go back and forth, which it does. Okay. Now they're advising me to go ahead and these long screws, the countersunk screws, they need to be put in place, which I'm getting ready to do now. This one as well. Tighten everything back down, so I'm going to do that right now. And then reinstall the hammer spring, and adjuster. So while I'm doing that, I'll be right back after I tighten these screws up. Okay, went ahead and got the hammer spring all back in place. I'm getting ready to reassemble the trigger assembly, as you can see right here. This right here took place of this cocking arm. like so. Like this rail will fit something like this, going to the front. This is a journey for both of us because this is my first time assembling this extended cocking arm. So folks are gonna have to be patient with me while I do this. You all can see what's all involved in doing this. So let's finish this journey here together. One, this one. Like so. Three Allen heads holds the trigger assembly onto the block. By the way, folks, do yourself a favor and get these Allen T-wrenches. They're made by Bondhus, B-O-N-D-H-U-S. They're made in the good old USA. Don't make the mistake I made buying the cheap Harbor Freight ones. I'm sure you guys already did that already and found out that it's not all that great. Ends up breaking or stripping the ends right here out, or stripping the Allen head screw that you're trying to remove. It's happened to me, and don't go cheap on the tools. Trying to reassemble this trigger and it's giving me some fits. There we go. There. Kind of hard to cock this because there's no actual leverage for me to cock it. Right there. Slide forward. With a pellet probe to go into, like so. And let's see if the trigger's gonna work. Should. There you go. Okay. Now we go on to the front part here. Okay, so these parts right here, this went onto the backside like so. It's no longer needed because this slide part here took its place. We're not going to be needing these parts. Spare parts. Okay. Now, what we gotta do here is I'm gonna have to remove the upper rail. scope rail. Put this aside for now. Now for the grub screw that holds the barrel in place. This one doesn't have it. Okay, so we've got one grub screw. Okay, now I want you to move, loosen. So, I want you to remove the barrel. So, like so. The barrel is out. In case you're wondering, how's the barrel going to go back in? You got the barrel port here. There's a indent for the Allen screw, the grub screw to tighten down on. So when I slide the barrel on, what I usually do is take a flashlight and make sure that everything goes back the way it's supposed to. Like so. But we're gonna leave that out for now, like so, and move on. Okay, I want you to install part 3. I don't know what part 3 is, so I have to go to the front. Part 3 looks like this. Yes, it does. They want you to slide it on like so. You got a bunch of holes here, and that rail, this rail right here, goes like so. Barrel. I want you to slide this through the barrel through this part here, back onto the barrel's going back into the breech. Got to make sure I got the marks lining up. So I'm going to have to can't tell, I need to get a flashlight, but I think it's there. Anyways, be right back. Got your flashlight. Got my flashlight, but before I continue on, I want to speed things up a little quicker here. So what I'm going to do is assemble these parts in the order that you see. This is a forward breech block that has to go on, followed by the barrel cover, goes over like just like that, followed by these parts here, the pivot swivel part arm that goes on. We might as well go ahead and do that now. Okay, all right. Put that on. Now they're in the instructions, they want you to replace this 520 button head with their longer button head screw. So we'll remove this right now. This part goes in here. Longer button head. Another slide that goes on. Like so. Now we're going to put the forward breech block on, so we're good to go there. So let's slide everything forward. Remember that dimple I was telling you about right here on top of the barrel that it has to line up. And you put it all back together because you want to make sure that the barrel is flush up in the breech area, and that you see your dimple. And that's what the flashlight's for, to verify that it lines up, and it does. So the barrel's back on, you tighten everything down. The Allen screw is flushing the barrel, or the barrel's flushing the breech. Okay, tighten down the screw right here. Okay, now go ahead and put the barrel cover on. On this barrel cover, it's got the Picatinny rails on there. Snap this in place. It's a little hard, so I'm going to give it a little tap. There you go. Okay. So you got a Allen bolt needs to be tightened up. So tighten it up. Okay, well, now I got to figure out why it's not drawing it down. Okay, all right. I'll be right back. Don't want you guys to go through all this. Okay, I was able to get this Allen head tightened back down, but I had to go ahead and remove the barrel back again. So Now I gotta make sure I got everything lined back up, and then we'll continue forward here and so we'll get that tightened up. Yeah, all right. This delays. Okay. Tighten the barrel back down again. Check if the barrel's still flush in the breech, which it is. Okay, tighten this back down again. Snug it. And you got one on top here that needs snug up as well. Okay. Now we're gonna move forward and well, we're gonna go ahead and get the dovetail mounted up. Since we are done there, we don't need to do any more to it, so we might as well go ahead and remount that. Okay, now that that's done, all right, let's see about the next step. The rod here has to slide on in, go all the way forward, like so, come back. Line up with the holes right here. So let's go ahead and get that taken care of. Let's see, we are going to need what here? There we go. We got some long ones, 2 long ones. Goes right here. Okay. Like so. Might as well get the rest of these screws in place. Allen screws. This is really a nice kit. It sure beats having a cocking arm in the rear. Not that I didn't mind it, but being left-handed, the cocking arm was in the way. This is a nice relief. I should have made this P15 this way, but I understand too the cost to move it forward. It'll be cheaper to leave it in the rear. But for those that own a bullpup that's for cocking, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's better to have in the front than in the rear. So this is a nice little upgrade for the P15. I'll take this any day. I'm going to wait and see how this job comes along here. See if it was worth the time, which I believe it is worth the time to put into this to do a modification to this wonderful bull pup. There's the cocking arm, I guess you can call it. So, let's go ahead and finish this out, shall we? All right. Just about there, folks. Just about there. Now it looks like got this one right here. Make sure. Yep. Okay. At this point, I don't need the instruction manual because it's pretty much self-explanatory. So let's finish this out. All right, get in there. Okay. Face it towards you guys and gals so you can see what I'm doing here. Wrong one. Don't tell me. I got the right one right here. No. What the heck? Okay, well. Cock. Okay, let's see about releasing it. Yep. There's your forward cocking lever. Okay. Before I forget, we still have a cover that goes on here to hide all this ugliness, and it just slides on like so. And that was the last of it right here, folks. this cocking pin, it goes all the way down, followed by, it's like a, I won't say it's a cocking pin, but it's a round stock that goes in the original hole. I'm just going to go ahead and thread this on down. That was the original pin, but I'm just going to put it all back in. Actually, I remove this one, slide this one on, the cover on, add this one over the top, and then down. So, okay. All right, that was it. These are extras that I will put in with the original parts for P15. Throw it in the junk drawer. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and okay. Just tighten everything up. Like nothing ever happened to this gun. There you have it, folks. Your new side lever. Uh-oh. Looks like I'm gonna have to do some trigger adjustments. But you get the idea. Just gotta go in there and readjust everything. Now, they give you an option of a smaller biathlon lever here. You may choose to use this, but I have another use for this biathlon lever on a different gun. This is the original one that was back here. And this is just fine with me. Look at that. No more cock and lever in my face anymore, you know. Instead of having to pull back and cock it, you know, now I'm on target. Up close and personal. There she is, folks. Hope you found this video helpful. Give a shout out to Jake Bowman for sending me this kit. To put on my P15. Now I gotta decide what I'm gonna go ahead and do. My 177. I'm probably gonna just leave it 25. Yeah, I'll leave it 25 with the lever in the back. Oh, you know, they're converting 177. This is a 22 177 over to forward cocking. This is very nice. I really like this. This was a fun project. Oh, you folks out there, stay safe. As always, sharing is caring. Shoot straight. May your pellet hit its target. See ya. Okay, folks. I got this all put back together. The cocking does work. I know in the last video, it would not stay cocked, but I had to adjust the trigger again. But it works. Gun's not loaded. So much easier to put it up just like that, you know. That's why I like the forward cocking on this. If you folks bought any of JB 3D printed parts, you had a Picatinny rail here. You could attach all your whatever you want, your magazine holders, flashlight, whatever, and you couldn't use it anymore because the cocking arm is up underneath the dovetail mount, so that had to be removed. But let me go ahead and cock this. Drop this down. Okay. Now, this is what he made up on the barrel cover. The Picatinny mounts right here, and you could actually get 2 magazines. Now, I did mention about a single shot tray, but unfortunately, I'm gonna have to make contact with Darko at Car Magazine. That's where I got the single shot tray from, because I really like that single shot tray. But the single shot tray swung out to the right, this side here, but the cover plate is right here, you know, for the cocking mechanism that's back here. And of course this bar right here that I showed you in the earlier video, that slides in and out, and that's why you can't put the single shot tray, because the door swung open on the right side. So I'm going to try to see if Darko can make another one for those that decide to convert their P15 to forward cocking, if you can make a single shot tray that the door comes out on the left side as opposed to the right side. So I'm going to see, make contact with him, email, see if he can do that. But there she is, folks. She's all put back together. I really like this forward cocking lever. If you decide to do it, you won't be disappointed in the kit. But, oh, might as well, this is the extended magazine. It makes it from 177 to 225. This is Car Magazines. Now, it's no problem for me, but you right-hand shooters, you guys might have a problem with you resting your cheek here. Maybe not, but the magazine is right there. Now, if you didn't have the extended magazine, like, say, this one right here, it just drops right down. So then that's not such an issue, you know, with the magazines, because it sits flush. But with the extended magazine, it has to come out to the side there, and luckily it's on that side. For you right-hand folks, to deal with, because I'm a left-hand shooter, so it worked out for me. There you go, folks. Okay. Got another video coming up that is addictive airgun parts. He sent me a magazine conversion kit for the Crossman 2240 series, Benjamin Maximus, Benjamin Discovery. So I'm going to be putting a magazine system on those guns. So that's the next video coming up. See you later.